We will call the meeting to order of the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors, adjourned meeting, Tuesday, September 15th, 2015, General District Courtroom, Edwin R. Shields Courthouse Edition. If we could please have a moment of silence. Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Mundy.
Mr. Harville?
Present.
Mr. Barber?
Here.
Mr. Sneed?
Yeah.
Mr. Blackstock?
Present.
Mr. Barksdale?
Present.
Mr. Hagerman?
Here.
Ms. Bowman?
Here. Let's please stand and recite the pledge to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we go into moving of the approval of the agenda, a couple of things. Senator Stanley was due here, and we were going to make a presentation to him first. He's on the way to Richmond. So when he does come in, I guess he's still running behind. He's traveling across the state. If you will bear with me, if he does come in, I'm going to try to fit it in to make that presentation to him so then he can leave and drive on to Richmond. And also want to mention that you may notice tonight we've got extra cameras in the room. We're making history tonight. This is the first meeting of the Board of Supervisors that is being taped and will be uploaded to our website and will be available, I'm assuming, tomorrow. That soon, Mr. Mundy?
It may take us longer than a couple of days the first time, or learning curve. Be patient with us, but we'll get it uploaded as quickly as possible.
Okay, well, we're really excited to be moving forward in this direction, and I hope that our citizens are as excited as we are, and you'll be able, I'm seeing some claps out there, so you will be able to go onto our website and see the board meetings. And with that, I will call for any items to be added to the agenda. Seeing none, I ask for the approval of the agenda.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right, Mr. Sneed and Mr. Barksdale second. We will now move to the hearing of the citizens. I'm sorry. All in favor of approving the agenda, raise your right hand. Okay, we will now move to hearing of the citizens. Again, we welcome all of you here tonight, and we are always glad to hear from our citizens. And you will notice that we do have our little light bulbs over here again, so that will be your signal. When you come up, please state your name, your district, and you will have 3 minutes to speak on any subject. The first person to sign up is Barbara Hudson.
My name is Barbara Hudson. I'm from the Gretna Callings District, and I wish to announce that tonight this meeting coincides with the Jewish New Year of Rosh Hashanah. We're celebrating the year 5776, and this is probably the last time and the first time you'll ever hear me talk about religion in a government meeting where there's a captive audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hudson. The next speaker is Deborah Dix.
I'm Deborah Dix, Blair's Chatham. Most of you may or may not know that the EPA passed a new law in August about clean water rules. They call it WOTUS. And I have trouble with W, so please excuse me. It's WOTUS. And to show you the difference on how this is thought of, ag groups and lawmakers fuming at the release of final WOTUS law rule. Environmentalists praise new clean water rules. Farmers upset. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dix. That's all we had signed up to speak. Is there anyone else that didn't get an opportunity and would like to speak? Thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda. If I could have a motion.
Madam Chair, I
Mr.
make a
Barson.
motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. We will now move into our public hearings. We have 2 cases on the agenda tonight. Pursuant to Article 5, Division 6 of the Pittsylvania County Zoning Ordinance, we, the Board of Supervisors, have been empowered to hear and decide specific rezoning issues and zoning map changes in support of said ordinance. In accomplishing this important task, we are responsible for promoting the health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens of Pittsylvania County. We must ensure that all our decisions and recommendations be directed to these goals and that each be consistent with the environment, the comprehensive plan, and in the best interests of Pittsylvania County, its citizens, and its posterity. Anyone here to speak to the board regarding zoning cases will be limited to 3 minutes. We'll open the public hearing at 7:06. Mr. Shelton.
Case 1/15-028 and Nancy McDowell have petitioned to rezone a total of 4.5 acres, 2 parcels of land located off State Road 956, Junior Dawson Road in the Danville election district from R1 residential suburban subdivision district to A1 agricultural district. The planning commission with no opposition recommended granting the petitioner's request. The staff summary is included in the board packet. Madam Chair, Mr. McDowell is here to represent the petition.
Thank you, Mr. McDowell. Would you come forward? Good evening. Do you have anything else to add?
I forgot my hearing aids and I can't remember, I can't hear a word you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have anything else to add?
Yes, ma'am, I'd like to give consideration to each of you for your consideration of this motion, and we appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. McDowell. You may be seated, and we have no one that signed up to speak. So with that, I'll close the public hearing at 7:07.
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Sneed.
after reviewing this and going down, and I noticed the board can look, R1 sitting right in the middle of the A1 property. After reviewing this is definitely one of those that needs to be in A1. So with that, I make a motion with case R-15-028 that we change the zoning from R1 to A1.
Second.
Mr. Sneed, Mr. Harville, second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Mr. Mundy?
Mr. Harville?
Yes.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Sneed?
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock?
Yes.
Mr. Barksdale?
Yes.
Mr. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes.
Mr.
McDowell, your property, can you hear me? Your property has been rezoned, and you are welcome to leave. You're welcome to stay, but if you want to leave, feel free. You're welcome. All right. Second case, I will open the public hearing at 7:10. Mr. Shelton.
Case 2/15-029, Howard Thomas Howard Jr. and F. Howard have petitioned to rezone 15.93 acres located off State Road 815 Gap Road in the County Scott election district from R1 residential suburban subdivision district to A1 agricultural district. They would like to place a second dwelling, a 2008 single-wide mobile home to take care of their parents. The planning commission with no opposition recommended granting the petitioner's request. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet. Madam Chair, Ms. Powell is here to represent the petition.
Thank you. Ms. Powell? Good evening, Ms. Powell. Do you have anything else to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. You may be
Thank you.
seated. And no one else signed up to speak, so I'll close the public hearing at 7:11. And entertain a motion, Mr. Hagerman.
Yes, Madam Chairman, members of the board, I have examined this property along with Mr. and Mrs. Powell, and this property falls under the county comprehensive plan, and I recommend the rezoning from R1 to A1, so that, of course, they can build a second dwelling.
Second.
Mr. Harville, Mr. Hagerman. Any discussion? Roll call, Mr. Mundy.
Mr. Harville?
Yes.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Sneed?
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock?
Yes.
Mr. Barksdale?
Yes.
Mr. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes, thank you. Ms. Powell, your property has been rezoned. Thank you, and you may leave, or you're welcome to stay. I see that the senator has arrived, so at this point, I will insert our presentation to him right now. If we could ask Senator Stanley to come forward and the board step down with me.
We actually approved this letter several meetings ago, and Senator Stanley could not be here to receive it. So we, this is continuing, so we asked you to come tonight. I'd like to read it to Senator William Bill Stanley Jr. Dear Senator Stanley, on behalf of the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors, we offer our sincere appreciation for the legal services you provided with ACLU prayer lawsuit on the Hudson versus Pittsylvania County, Virginia, and Board of Supervisors of Pittsylvania County, Virginia. You were certainly aware before making your offer in 2011 to represent the county pro bono public that this would be a long and arduous case, and due to its nature, under public scrutiny, not only locally but nationwide. Such a commitment by you is a testament to your moral character and your shared passion concerning this cause. With your guidance, the case is taken as far as possible, and it is clear in the minds of the citizens of Pittsylvania County, the Board of Supervisors stood up and fought for the values they believed in and hold dear. In closing, on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, we offer our sincere appreciation for representing the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors during their fight for religious freedom. Sincerely, Clarence Bundy, County Administrator of Pittsylvania County. Present that to you, and thank you very much. Certainly, please say anything you like.
Give me the opportunity to speak. I want to thank the members of the board. In my 21-year legal career, I've had the opportunity to represent a lot of fine Virginians all across the Commonwealth and courts all throughout the Commonwealth. But never has it been a greater privilege and honor to represent these fine ladies and gentlemen here in a cause so dear and a cause so true. That we shall all stand up for religious freedom, for every freedom that is given to us in the Constitution is not only a noble but worthy cause, and one that I appreciate that they gave me the privilege to stand with them in that fight. So I thank you very much. I'm very humbled by this, and I am standing here with friends that I will have for a lifetime, and I'm certainly grateful for that. Thank you.
Explained earlier that you were on your way to Richmond, so you can leave whenever you want.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
It's, you gotta get the picture.
I'm waiting, yes. Probably too soon. Thank you. Okay. Let's see,
Some of us usually go on.
Mr. Harville, you going well on? Okay, that works. Mr. Blackstock, do you mind switching to this side then? On that side, so it'll be kind of balanced out next to Mr. Sneed? That'd be good. Okay, thank you. All right, there we go. Yeah, y'all balance each other. Are you ready? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I want to do a couple. Another one. And one more. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next on the agenda, item 6. Mr. Mundy.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, we have with us this evening Mr. Pete Boswell, who's our Chief Animal Control Officer. Mr. Boswell will come to the podium and talk about an event that he is planning at the county's animal facility. Mr. Boswell.
Yes, thank y'all for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. I appreciate all of it. First off, I'd like to thank you for your interest that you showed in the facilities that we have and the one I hope we have in the future. So it's just overwhelming to be able to stand here and tell you that we have scheduled an event. We call it our October Adoption Fest. It will be October the 10th at our facility in Dry Fork, and it will be like from 11 to 3 o'clock in the daytime. We have a select number of dogs that will be available for adoption, which will be fully vetted, neutered, and microchipped for a small fee of $5 each. It'll be a perfect time for a family to come to select a pet. The weather will be cooler where the children can get outside and play with it longer. But we look forward to this, and thank you for your support. And I think this will be a great day, and I have seen in the past most all of you at my facility. I call it mine, I've worked there so long. But I would like for all of you, if you could possibly, to come out that day and view our operation. And we'll just say it's an open house for the county, the greatest county in the state of Virginia, I feel like, for everybody to come and see what we do out there. And thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Boswell. We look forward to that. Item 7, Mr. Mundy.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, we have the Executive Director of the Pittsylvania County Danville Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Laurie Moran. She will come and share some information with you. Her preliminary report has been provided in your board packet, and there's also a supplemental report that has been provided at your dais and also given to the media. Ms. Moran, thank you for being here.
Thank you. For the past 4 years, the Danville Pittsylvania County Chamber of Commerce has provided the business services outreach for Danville and Pittsylvania County in partnership with the West Piedmont Workforce Investment Board. Tonight, I'm here to share the report. I have put some additional copies here if we have anybody that wants one, and as well as on our website at dpchamber.org if anybody in the community would like to look at that. I never want to assume that people know why we do this work, so let me share with you why we do this work in the workforce arena. If you look at site selection consultants and talk to new companies as they look at locations, the workforce is always one of the top 3 reasons on why they choose a location or perhaps why they don't choose a location. The same can be said for our existing companies. When they choose where they're going to expand, the workforce is always one of the top reasons that helps them decide. On top of that, if you look at where growth potential is, we see more growth from our existing employers than you typically see from new employers. For the Chamber, it's important that we work with our existing companies to help them succeed in Danville and Pittsylvania County and to grow here, to invest here and to hire more people here and to help us grow the economy of the region. And so we've been working in the workforce arena. We've actually been working in it now for over 14 years, but very strategically with our workforce board for the past 4 years. I'm not going to go through everything in this report because you can read it at your leisure. I do want to highlight a few things that are in it. We focus our efforts primarily in 3 areas: recruitment, retention, and training. On the recruitment side of working with our employers, we do everything from helping to sponsor job fairs to actually trying to help individual employers who have a workforce need, whether it's getting the word out for them, helping them with targeted recruitment efforts. We work with them to try to do that. If you will look at the fiscal year from July 1st through June 30th of 2015, we ended up working with 64 different companies that identified that they had job openings in Danville and Pittsylvania County, and that totaled 969 jobs that we were able to identify in this community. We know from reports they've given us that we were able to get 298 people into those jobs. The number is significantly higher. Sometimes we have difficulty getting those reports back from employers, and we will only report the jobs we know were filled. And in other cases, because this report ended June 30th, some of those positions were being filled after June 30th, so this cut off June 30th. We do a number of efforts as well to help our small and our medium-sized businesses. Oftentimes, we don't celebrate the company that hires 2 people or 5 people or 10 people, but those are jobs, and those are jobs for people in this community. And we believe if we help those smaller and medium-sized businesses, we will continue to see job growth for the entire region. We've done workshops and programs to help them because many times those are the businesses that don't have an HR division. They may not be as aware of what services and programs and resources are available to them. We've also done a lot of work with young professionals in this community. That's not only a recruitment opportunity, it's also a retention opportunity. We want young professionals to locate here, whether it's to return here, to stay here, or we'll recruit other young professionals to come and live here. But we want to make sure there are opportunities for our young professionals as well. We also work with our employers on training. We are not a training provider, but we work with our companies to identify their training needs. Most recently, you may have seen in the media, and I know some of you have been there actually in person, we're working with Amthor and Gretna that actually to help them to develop a training program to recruit and hire 38 people. We've also worked with 4 of our manufacturers in the community that needed some supervisory and leadership training and have worked with them to go through the community college to get the training they need to upgrade skills and hopefully open up new positions in those companies as well. Again, we don't always provide the resources, but we know who provides them, and we try to connect the employers to the resources that are available to them. You'll see a number of initiatives that we work with as far as entrepreneurship. Again, we believe that every time a business starts up, that's a great economic announcement for this community. So we want to see more businesses start in this community. You'll see our work in that. You'll see our work with our Young Entrepreneurs Academy, trying to help our middle school and high school students know more about how to start a business. We do things as far as we've worked with Smart Beginnings on early childhood initiatives. Because while we think about the workforce as being adult workers, we've got to also stay focused on our K-12 system as well as our early childhood efforts. If you look at the chart in the front, it's on the inside page, it will give you the numbers of different employers we worked with, the services that we provided, and that we will continue to provide over the upcoming year. So we are back out actively working. I would encourage each of you, if you know of companies that are in your district that may have needs when it comes to workforce, please don't hesitate to call the chamber office. We are there to help them. We are there to help them grow because we really do believe that that is an investment in this region. That is an investment as we grow the economy of the region, and that's a win for all of us. So I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm more than willing to take questions, whether it's now or if you have questions later, I'm more than willing. You can always reach me. Don't hesitate to call me if you have questions at some future point.
Thank you, Ms. Moran. Would anyone like Mr. Harville?
Okay, when I read this thing here, I was kind of confused. Page 26, it's titled Dashboard. What is the problem in the goal that is not available? There's 5 categories that's not available. I mean, I can't comprehend anything because I don't know what the goal is.
So when we work with the West Piedmont Workforce Investment Board, there are some things we set out as clear goals at the beginning of the year. So as you look at some of the job placements, they didn't actually tell us we had to track that. We wanted to track that. I'm a firm believer that you have to measure outcomes. So it's not important. I mean, I think it's great that we can identify 969 jobs. What's more important to me is how many people can we place in those jobs. That tells you the success of the work we were doing. So the goal to me will always be, can we place 100% of the people that we've identified, the job openings we've identified. But I think that's that wasn't a metric that they had us to determine. So as you look at some of those, they didn't tell us how many employers had to use the services, but we wanted to track that. How many employers are using these services? They may become future goals, they just weren't goals in this past year.
All right, on page 27, going back to the number of jobs, this is kind of astonishing. Number of participants, employers was 38, but number of jobs opening 700 plus, and then number of hirees only 135.
Yes. So the job fair was held in April, and what we discovered with some of our employers is their hiring process doesn't happen overnight. So some of our employers, even though they had job openings, are still hiring even today, 6 months later or 4 months later. And so when this report ended June 30th, a lot of the employers have a longer time frame than 60 days to actually fill those positions. That was one thing that we saw. The second piece that we saw was that some of our employers, as we tried to get data after the job fair, it was difficult to get data. We will only report the numbers that they give us. So we don't fudge numbers. If they don't tell us, we're not sure about that piece of it. But yes, that was why, as you look at some of that, it has to do with timing, it has to do with the reporting piece of it, and also the other piece, although I would tell you this is a smaller number of the piece, some of those jobs are still open as employers look for qualified applicants. We have some jobs in this community that are hard to fill, and that we have employers who can keep certain jobs may stay open 3 to 6 months as they wait for qualified applicants to come in. So that's a smaller percentage of what you would see in that number.
Well, Laura, I don't want to be real critical of this thing, but, you know, I know a ton of money been put in this, and it's been drilled on for years trying to get this program right. But I still think with the numbers and all, it don't tell you, you don't know where you at. I'd like to see the real problems we have put in here. You know, why there a lot of these wasn't employed. You know, was it failed drug test, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, this report here just tells me you just got a bunch of numbers in here, and it don't mean anything.
So I can tell you why they didn't get hired, because we went back to all of the employers and asked those questions. You know, you don't see it in this report, but we've been doing some digging over the summer, because I think you're absolutely right, Mr. Harville. If we don't understand why people aren't getting employed, then the programs that are helping the job seekers are just throwing money at what we think a solution is. So we went back to employers and we asked the question of, why didn't you hire the people, you know, when you had applications and you didn't hire them, why didn't you hire them? The reasons that people weren't hired, one of the number one reasons, lack of work experience. So we have companies that don't want to hire people unless they have work experience. So I will tell you, what we're working on this fall is, how do we fix that problem? How do you hire somebody with work experience if nobody will give them work experience? So we're looking at, are there opportunities, whether it's internships or work-based experiences, how do we help people get work experience if that's what's keeping them from getting the work experience? We also know that in some cases it's a lack of the education or the training. That was another issue that we tended to see that surfaced from people. But once you looked at the lack of skills, and we asked what were the skills, and in most cases it's very specific skills. In healthcare, they're looking for people who have certain certifications or credentials. Even in our manufacturing environment, they're typically looking for people that may be skilled craftsmen. So they are looking for potentially electricians or mechanics or welders, or they're looking for engineers. And so in cases it was either lack of skills, lack of education and training, lack of work experience were the top 3 reasons within our job fair why people didn't hire the people that came through the door. So it is a mismatch. It's one we're trying to fix. We're getting ready in the month of October. We're going to be doing a survey. We've picked the sector of manufacturing because we want to stay very targeted initially. We're going out and we're really trying to do a deep dive into their workforce issues, understanding how they hire, where they post their jobs, what are the credentials they're looking for, understanding those pieces, understanding their training issues and needs, where do they get the training when they need training, what are the skill sets people are lacking when they come in through the door that they feel like they have to upskill for, and we're going to try to get even a deeper understanding and better understanding. Because otherwise, I think you're absolutely right. We put Band-Aids on something, and Band-Aids can't stop hemorrhaging if there's a major issue there. So we're really trying to get to that root cause of why people aren't getting hired.
What kind of program have you got for our veterans?
So there are programs for the veterans. The Virginia Employment Commission has a veteran specialist on board in Danville, and so we do referrals. So at the chamber, if somebody comes in and they're a veteran and they're looking for assistance, we refer them to the agencies that work with that. And so our connection is really working with the employers, and if we know there's an employer who is veteran friendly, we connect them with the agencies to connect with the veterans on that piece.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I saw a little news segment this afternoon, but it was very impressive. Kroger is all out to hire veterans, and they wasn't able to hire one It just, they just didn't get applicants in. But they said they're not gonna stop, they're still going after veterans. And they give the reasons for the work ethic and attendance and on about the veterans that they've had success with.
And we're also, part of our survey with the manufacturers, because we always talk about the soft skills, that people are lacking soft skills, part of what we're going to try to figure out is define soft skills. What does it mean for somebody, what is a good work ethic? And I mean, because we each have our own definition, and there's some common language, but there's a whole lot of times we have a difference of, so we're really going to quantify what soft skills mean and what people talk about when they talk about a good work ethic, so that we can understand. Because I do think those programs, and again, we focus on the employer side, but people, and we've shared information and details of why employers aren't hiring with the agencies that are dealing with the job seekers, with those applicants. Because I think it's important that if we're training people and working with people, they need to understand what it means. And I will use, for the example, with the training that will be done with AmThor, one of the requirements will be attendance for the training. If you don't show up, or you don't show up on time, you're out of the program and you lose the job. But part of that program is if you go through and get the skills and you show up on time and meet the other requirements, you walk out of that training guaranteed a job. So I think employers are looking at how do we make sure that job seekers understand what's important for their workforce today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Blackstock and then
Okay.
Mr. Barksdale.
I would like to thank you for the work that you've done with AmThor. I went through the first, at the VOTEC, the first welding school they had many, many years ago. And I was amazed to find that AmThor could not hire qualified welders. And I'm also, until recently, because of this job, I resigned off of the Virginia Technical Institute Board of Directors, which is a vocational school, and some tobacco money was put into that. It's located in Alta Vista. But they have a wonderful welding program over there. And because of the chamber and y'all's work, you have worked with them to help provide qualified welders. And basically they've been guaranteed a job, as you said, at AmThor. So if people will prepare themselves and go to the appropriate training, there are jobs out there in our community. And I just want to say thank you for the Chamber's work in bringing those two partners together, because there's a lot of money out there that's been spent on at VTI, and we want to certainly help AmThor and Gretna find qualified welders.
Thank you, Mr. Blackstock. If you still remember how to weld, they're still taking applications. AmThorInternational.com.
Don't say that in front of my wife. She's here tonight.
She's going to Mr. Barksdale.
Madam Chair, excuse me, following in Mr. Blackstock's remarks, I was so impressed with the announcement by AmThor with their training, and I really hope, I wish them much success, and I hope that their training will serve as a model for other businesses that are thinking about following in that same vein. So thank you, and everybody else who had any involvement in that, because I was really impressed. And I think this report has so many noteworthy accomplishments. And I will never forget the first time I went to a job fair. I think Madam Chair was there too. It was pretty much an overwhelming experience to see that we could organize something like that, to where the people interested were wrapped around, literally around the building. And it was a proud moment to know that we have people who are concerned and know how to use our assets to do that. Because our goal is just to provide the opportunity, and then it's up to the businesses and the applicants to do the rest. But thank you, and thank your staff, thank everyone for everything that you do to make this successful. Thank you for a good report.
Thank you.
Mr. Sneed.
I want to thank you and the Chamber for everything you do. I probably call you more maybe than I should, but and thank you for hopefully everything is getting back to normal with health-wise, and looking forward to that, and I know the chamber has done a lot to help the board, and I know it helps in my district, and looking forward to a lot more of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you're always welcome to come anytime and bring us good news like this.
Well, and anytime any of you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me at the chamber. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Madam Chair, Laura, look, your job hadn't ended. You know that. I was here, I don't know what any of you know how Amthor got here. It was a guy that worked at Goodyear, and he was in the volunteer fire department for Mount Frost Fire Department. And he went to New York to look at a fire truck. And the rest is history. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you work for Butch Anthor and them, you're going to have the highest standard quality workmanship that it is. But I was just talking to, and I ain't going to call his name, you know what I'm talking about, last week. But the reason I say your work hadn't stopped, the training programs they got is great. But what's happening, that the older employees doesn't know the new techniques and modern computers and everything that they're using now. So they're trying to hang on to the old employees until they retire. But the same pace, the new employees that's getting educated and has the training are not particularly staying here. They're going elsewhere. It's high wages. Lynchburg is a prime example. I mean, they just jump over to Lynchburg automatically. But that's the reason I say it's an ongoing job, and I appreciate what you're doing, because this is a never-ending job. It's always been that way, and it always will with this economy.
Yeah, I've been involved in workforce development for over 14 years now, and it is not a quick fix. There is not a silver bullet. And just as soon as you think you figured out one issue, the next issue comes along. And so you're right, it's not a quick fix. But we're all in this together, and we all have to figure this out together. Because if we want our companies that are here to grow, and we want to attract new companies, then we need to be able to identify what the issues are and the opportunities, and be creative in our solutions, which is what I hope Amthor had, that training program is a creative solution as to how do we work with our employers to help them grow, because every one of us has the desire to have jobs in this region where people can earn an income that supports the quality of life they choose to live. And that's good for every single one of us. So we're all in this together, and we will be in it together for a lot of years, but it's exciting. It is great to work with our companies and see the plans they have and help them craft the solutions for long-term survival and prosperity here in Pittsylvania County and in the city of Danville. So I look forward to a lot of years of work ahead in this arena as we continue to grow this community. Thank you.
One more thing, Laura, just from our RIFA meeting, and some of you probably read it in the paper, but like LK, for instance. I mean, and I really had a lot of questions for this. And it's amazing how these companies, LK bought out Yorktown, and they had that product line in since he started it, and now they've changed the product line, and it's $300,000 just in computers, and then all the machinery and retraining they have to do because it's a different molds, a different setup. So these companies, bear in mind, they have got their work cut out, and with getting the employees, it's a real task.
That's right. So we continue, and LK is one of the companies we have worked with and will continue to work with on where we can help them identify what resources are available to get the workforce they need, or to help train or retrain their existing workforce. So there's all kinds. We can go through lots and lots of companies and the challenges as well as the opportunities they have. And so that's part of the work we continue to do. So, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Moran. We'll move on to item 8, Mr. Mundy.
Yes, Madam Chair and members of the board, as you know, each quarter our CSA coordinator comes before you to give a quarterly attendance report and any other news or information that needs to be exchanged with you. And this evening we have Ms. Milner here to give you that report.
Welcome, Ms. Milner.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Board of Supervisors. In order to remain in compliance with Board of Supervisors Resolution 2014-10-02, Community Policy Management Team members shall attend 75% of regularly scheduled meetings unless mitigating circumstances are approved by the Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors. As of today, I'm happy to report that the CPMT team is in compliance with that resolution. There are no mitigating circumstances that need to be approved at this time. If you look at the attendance log that was in your packet, you'll see that one member has missed 3 meetings, one member has missed 2 meetings, 3 members have missed 1 meeting, and 4 members have perfect attendance. We're hoping to remain in compliance for the remaining 4 months to close out the calendar year without having to approve any mitigating circumstances. So that is our goal. In other news with the CSA office, between the time that I reported as of last time, we have hired a new CSA UMUR specialist, and so we're back fully staffed, and things are going really well. We're working towards, our audit will be coming up in December, so working towards being in compliance and having everything ready for that as well. Are there any questions?
I have one, Katie. Just for clarification, I mean, I see what it is, but when you have your alternates, it doesn't look good when you see X's for, absent. Is there any way you can make a footnote that the alternate is not required to be there unless the regular voting member is present?
Yes, I can.
Because when you look at it and see all the X's, it makes that one look
Right.
bad, and then you see one why they're present,
Yes, one of our members, the alternate, attends every single meeting, even though the member attends. And just so everyone knows, the alternate only has to attend if the member does not attend. It does not count towards the 75% requirement. It is just to have agency representation at the table in order to take the information back and to be a vote.
Yeah, I just thought it would look better on the chart, because since you have improved, I'm very pleased.
Absolutely.
And I thought in one instance right here, the voting member that was absent but was on phone, and then the alternate was present, I think it's very impressive, that they were keeping up.
Absolutely. Are there any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on to unfinished business, item 9, Mr. Mundy.
Yes, Madam Chair and members of the board, at your last meeting, you had Mr. Craddock with VDOT. He appeared before you to talk a little bit about HB2 and some funds that have been allocated for a competitive process to get some corridors of significance improved. And Mr. Sides gave you some very detailed information and said that he would be back at this particular meeting with a resolution. What Mr. Sides talked to you about was the importance of the county's projects that are submitted into this new process. Remember, this is round 1 of HB2 and the funding from HB 1887. This is a learning curve for the county and all the counties that are seeking these funds. They are competitive in nature. So VDOT has emphasized to us, and also the West Piedmont Planning Commission through the MPO, they have emphasized to us to submit projects that the engineering is already done. In other words, they're build ready, and also projects that meets the state criteria, because we want our projects to be funded. Mr. Sides told you, and also VDOT supported this information, the 2 best projects that the county has on its list of projects to submit this particular cycle would be Phase 2 of improvements to Climax Road. I say Phase 2 because recently they improved a 1.94 mile section. They did some widening and some shoulder improvements out there. And then Phase 2 would be to take the engineering that they already have and then complete another project of much more significance. The second project that was mentioned to you was improvements at the intersection of Mount Cross Road, the Tunstall High School Road, and Stony Mill Road. And Mr. Craddock talked a little bit about what that project would entail. Those appear to be our 2 best projects that we have to submit. And the resolution that's in your board packet, we ask that you approve that resolution so we can get the required projects submitted on time. And I will point out that later in the process, Mr. Sides will be working with VDOT to provide additional support and documentation. We may have to come back to you for some supportive documents or something else that you may have to approve, but this resolution will get us started in the application process.
Madam Chair,
Thank you, Mr. Blackstock.
I move that we approve Resolution 2015-09-02 and authorize county staff to submit HB2 applications to VDOT based on the projects presented in the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Hagerman had, his hand up there, Mr. Hagerman second. All right, any discussion? All in favor? Raise your right hand. Okay. Item 10, financial matters, Mr. Mundy.
Yes, Madam Chair and members of the board, the first financial matter that we have, item A, would be the Health Department carryover. Dr. Arroyo has done a very good job of managing his funds that he has. He gets state funds, gets some grants, and also there's a local match requirement. He was very frugal in the operation that he ran this year. He had at least $65,000 left over from his operation. He does have a very important need down there to replace a phone system that has become obsolete, and we do ask that you have a motion and a second this evening to start the required 10-day layover process.
Motion.
Mr. Harville.
Second.
Mr. Sneed. And this will be a 10-day layover. Next, item B, State Library Grant Increase.
Yes, Madam Chair. The county received an additional $5,269 from the state library grant. There is a state allocation that's given, and then there's a local portion. The good news is that we received an extra $5,269 in state funds that was not expected. And it's typical. We have to put a number down in the budget based upon a projection, an estimate, if you will, of what we think we'll get from the state. This year, we were fortunate that state grant is more. So what we ask is, since this is a grant, the local match has already been budgeted, we ask for a motion and a second to appropriate the $5,269 to the line item stated in the board packet, and this will require a roll call vote. Thus, a 10-day layover is not required.
Madam Chair, I move that we amend the state library grant budget and appropriate $5,269 to line items listed in the above report.
And Mr. Barber, second. Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, no discussion. This is 10-day layover. No, this can have a discussion. I'm sorry, and a roll call vote. Okay, any discussion?
I'd just like to point out that that's $5,269 of state money that the county received, so that's a good thing.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, roll call, Mr. Mundy.
Mr. Harville?
Yes.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Sneed?
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock?
Yes.
Mr. Barksdale?
Yes.
Mr. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes. Item C.
Yes, Madam Chair and members of the board, these are the August expenditure refunds. This is unanticipated revenue that has not been budgeted in the amount of $39,930.60. We do require a motion and a second to start the 10-day layover process.
Mr. Harville.
Madam Chair, I make a motion for the August expenditure refund in the amount of $39,930.60.
Mr. Sneed, second. And this will require a 10-day layover. Next, item 11, proclamation and request to waive tipping fees and the 2015 annual fall cleanup month. Mr. Mundy.
Yes, Madam Chair and members of the board, October has been declared cleanup month in the county. This has been requested by the Beautification Committee. They are requesting a waiver of the landfill tipping fees for county residents on Friday, October 23rd, and Saturday, October 24th. We would need a motion to consider this as stated in your board packet, and it would require a motion, a second, and a roll call vote.
Mr. Harville.
Madam Chair, I'd like to put that in the form of a motion, and I would also, in my motion, to advertise this in the local newspaper where people would be informed about it in advance.
Thank you. Second, Mr. Sneed. And under discussion, let me say that Friday, October the 23rd, the hours are 7:30 to 3:30, and on Saturday, the hours are 10 to 2. And I do appreciate if our papers will certainly make note of this and maybe perhaps do an article like you usually do, because we really do need to get the word out to the citizens. Each year, it grows a little bit as far as the tipping fee waiver at the landfill. And I usually go out there and take pictures and see people bring, and people are the citizens are very appreciative of having those 2 days to be able to bring, do the deep cleaning and bring everything out and have those fees waived. So appreciate the citizens being reminded of those days. And also the entire month is cleanup month. If you know of groups in your church, school, neighborhoods, anybody, even if you just want to grab family members, please, any day. It's no specific day, just any time in October. And if you do participate in a cleanup, let me know so we can make sure that we get credit for that, because we do get money from the state when we for this particular purpose, and it supplies us with the vests. And so if you do participate in a cleanup and you need the vest and the bags, the trash bags, we will supply that to you. You contact Linda Mills in the county's office or myself, and I'll make sure you get that. But I hope to see many people out in the ditches with me anytime in October. Please get out there and do everything you can to keep our county looking beautiful. And with that, this is a roll call vote. Any other discussion? Did anybody have anything to say? Okay.
Mr. Harville?
Yes.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Sneed?
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock?
Yes.
Mr. Barksdale?
Yes.
Mr. Hagerman?
Yes.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Move on to board announcements, and I'll start over here with Mr. Hagerman.
Well, actually, I've got all kinds of them for once. September 22nd, 9 to 5 p.m., the Climax Ruritan Club is going to have their annual Sorghum Festival. They'll be selling stew and fried pies. There will also be other vendors and lots of crafts there. Also on October the 3rd, from 9 to 5 p.m., Callens is hosting their festival. There's going to be a lot of vendors and crafts. That's right on Sago Road. We right where we were at just a few days ago. And also on October the 3rd, from 4 to 6, Callens Fire Department is doing a steak dinner, and their steaks are really good. So I'd like to invite everybody out there.
What was the date of that again, Mr. Hagerman? The fire, what date?
That's on October the 3rd.
Thank you. Same date as the...
Same day. Actually, you can get tired up at the festival and come down and get a steak that evening. So that's pretty good.
Thank you, Mr. Hagerman.
Nothing, Madam Chair.
Blackside? Mr. Smith?
You'll make all the announcements.
Mr. Barber?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, in light of the news we got today about Miller closing up, it's been the talk with everybody, and I've been very concerned about the effects. I'd like to ask that you direct Mr. Mundy to contact Senator Kane and Warner and Congressman Hurt, because they're not always aware of this stuff. I know when me and Mr. Sneed went up there for some other issues that Senator Warner didn't even know about the mega part. It had been in existence 2 or 3 years, so I think that would be good to keep them informed, because we need to get this permit and get this thing going ASAP, because that could create 200 to 300 construction jobs immediately, and hopefully it would offset that impact, because that's going to have a serious impact in Pittsylvania County, because a lot of people that live in Pittsylvania County work here, and I know Brockway produces a lot of product from it. It's going to have a big ripple effect for us. So we need to try to help all we can, and possibly you could contact the folks in Eden, and they could get on their guys in North Carolina, their senators and congressmen. Maybe they could get strength of numbers and get that thing passed through the Army Corps.
Okay.
Will do.
Thank you.
Good suggestion.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Harvey?
Amen.
Okay, just a couple of things. A reminder that the school board candidate forum that is being conducted by the Education Association is this Friday at 3:30, and that's September 18th at 3:30 at Chatham High School. So if anybody's interested in hearing what the candidates have to say that are running for the school board, please just feel free to attend.
Madam Chair, I got an email late today. They also invited the Board of Supervisors, and I did talk to the contact person, but I would love to attend that, but on such short notice, a lot of us already have things on our agenda, and that's a very important, that particular debate would be very important to many of us. I was kind of disappointed we only found out today that we were invited. because I'm concerned about funding for schools and the direction we're going in.
I'll speak to the non-local president, and I apologize if you received such short notice on that. There was some miscommunication within the organization. Nonetheless, the invitation is extended to you all to attend on Friday. If you want to provide comments, you can forward them to me directly, and I will share those. And if there's enough interest, Mr. Clark can have another event as well, either later in the month or next month in October, to provide more input and direction from there as well. So if the board feels that it is a direction it's going, we can discuss it.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. The board did not know about it. I didn't even know, I knew about it, but if we were notified today, I haven't seen anything either. If you saw something, I didn't. But I did know about it because our youth commission has been asked to supply questions to the candidates. And so I worked with them this week, and they have developed some questions, and they will be there to ask the questions. So I'm looking forward to being there with them. All right, that was the first thing. The second thing I had was the NAACP banquet is September 26th, the last Saturday of the month at 5:30, Cherry Stone Baptist Association Center. The third thing is the Chamber's Cookout for the county and the city officials. That's on September 29th at 5:30 at the Home Place Vineyard. And last is the Board of Supervisors candidate forum on October the 7th. Remember last meeting, there was a little discrepancy about the date. It's October the 7th. It's a breakfast at 7:30, sponsored by the Chamber, and it's at the Ag Center. That's October the 7th, and there are 13 candidates that will be speaking at that. And that's all I have. Do we have any?
Thursday night. Dinner Thursday night with the Thursday night Ag Center.
Oh, the Pittsylvania County Community
Community
Action. Sorry. Pennsylvania County Community Action Banquet this Thursday night at
6.
6. Thank you, Mr. Sneed.
Motion.
Anything? Do you all have anything, Mr.? You've got something, Mr. Mundy?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, members of the board, I want to take just a minute to update you on where we are with the hiring for our 2 positions at the animal shelter. As you know, we advertised for 2 positions. One is a shelter attendant that could start as quickly as possible to help Mr. Boswell and his staff. Remember, one of our ACOs is out of work on extended sick leave, so that position is very important. We do have applicants that were received for that position. The initial screening has been done. Our HR department and Mr. Boswell, they have interviews scheduled for that position. Our goal, again, is to get that filled as quickly as possible. The animal shelter manager, we listed that one in the advertisement, is open until filled. We're still taking applications for that position. They are doing all they can to get the part-time position filled immediately. As soon as that one is filled, we're going to put 100% of our attention on selecting and interviewing the candidates for the shelter manager position. And we'll get that hired as quickly as possible as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mundy. Just remember to tell your friends to go to our website in a few days, and you'll be able to see tonight's meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned.